Netflix wants to squash VPNs, Foursquare appoints a brand new CEO, Xiaomi missed its sales forecast, and more. It's Friday, January 15th, and this is Crunch Report. Hello everybody! Welcome to New York. The California Public Utilities Commission, or CPUC, has fined Uber $7.6 million for failing to fully and timely meet the agency's reporting requirements. Now, before I get into what those requirements were, that's not a ton of money to Uber, but if the company fails to pay the penalty, its operating license will be suspended in the state of California. As an additional screw you, the CPUC held the company in contempt and imposed an additional $1,000 fine after Uber failed to provide information in a full and timely fashion about the number and percentage of customers who requested accessible cars and how often it could provide rides for them. It also failed to provide information around service information like the number of rides passengers requested and drivers accepted within a given zip code, as well as driver safety information. Now, the CPUC wants this so that it can be sure Uber is providing services in a non-discriminatory manner, enabling equal access to all, and that the services are being provided in a manner that promotes public safety. We all want that. Uber has since given the CPUC all of the data that it requested and tells TechCrunch that it is disappointed in the outcome, but it will comply, although it does plan to appeal the specific amount that it owes. Uber is worth $62.5 billion at last check, so yeah, it can afford it. Last week at CES, Netflix announced that it was expanding to 130 new countries, which was kind of a surprise. That's a crazy big number. Well, now the US company says it will be cracking down on customers who use virtual private networks, or VPNs, to access content that either isn't available or isn't licensed in their country. This is going to affect a lot of people who are happy to pay for Netflix, but are using a VPN to get the international library rather than limited local selections. The question is, how is the company actually going to police this? Because new content services and new VPN software, they pop up all the time. And how much is Netflix actually going to go after them? Reminder that earlier this week, Netflix said it didn't care if people shared their Netflix passwords with non-members. So, okay, passwords are good, VPNs, not okay. Foursquare co-founder and CEO Dennis Crowley is stepping down from the CEO position that he's held since the company launched and moving to executive chairman. Jeff Glueck is the new CEO, moving up from his role as COO. He was also overseeing the company's enterprise business, which is on the rise. Foursquare also announced that it raised $45 million in equity financing. That's its Series E round, led by Union Square Ventures. Speaking of money, Chief Revenue Officer Steve Rosenblatt is Foursquare's new president. Now, Foursquare has been on an interesting ride these last few years. First, it was the fun check-in app. You get mayorships and stuff like that. Then it became two apps. There was Foursquare and then Swarm. Then it signed with companies like Apple and Twitter and Pinterest to start using its location data. In fact, Foursquare says 2015 was its biggest year in terms of revenue ever. Now, that said, TechCrunch previously reported Foursquare was raising money, but that it would be at a lower valuation. And this latest round of financing has indeed cut the company's valuation roughly in half from a reported $650 million valuation back in 2013. Foursquare is forging ahead, though, and hiring 30 new positions, mostly in enterprise media sales and engineering. Chinese smartphone powerhouse Xiaomi has revealed how many devices it actually sold last year, and Xiaomi says that number is over 70 million devices in 2015. Now, although that's a 15% jump over the 61 million sales from 2014, it's short of the 80 million projection that the company set for itself. And that number was reduced from an initial 100 million target. Now, this is a company valued at $45 billion, so you don't really want to miss your projections. A representative tells TechCrunch that Xiaomi doesn't break out sales by region, so we don't know how many of that 70 million number came from China or Xiaomi's emerging markets like India, Indonesia, and Brazil. Meanwhile, rival device maker Huawei became the first Chinese company to ship more than 100 million smartphones in a single year in 2015, enjoying 44% shipment growth. So step it up, Xiaomi. It's 2016, and you've got some competition. Stolen, the app that let you own and sell your peers with Twitter accounts, has shut down. Hey Inc., that's the creators of Stolen, tweeted, "We've decided to shut down the Stolen app and service until further notice. Thank you for everyone's support. The app is no longer available in the App Store. We've heard everyone's concerns and have decided the best thing to do is shut down." Now, this is news because Stolen, the app, got a lot of attention in a pretty short amount of time, but it also rubbed people the wrong way, including me, because buying and selling people sounds like Sounds like slavery. No thank you. Now, after an interview with Gadget addressing these topics, the team created an opt-out page that let people remove their profiles if they didn't want to participate. But to do that required you to log into Twitter and authorize the app. People didn't want to do that either. Well, then the team made sure that it only asked for read permissions, but it was all a little too late. The company is now directing people to iTunes for refunds for any in-app purchases they may have made. And that is the report for today from our studio in New York City. I'm Sarah Lane. Thanks for watching. This episode of Crunch Report was presented by Go90. Crunch Report airs every weekday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on TechCrunch.com. You can also find us on iTunes and on YouTube. See you Monday.